What's up, y'all? It is end of November, a couple days after Thanksgiving, I don't know. And I'm going over to pick up my kids to go hiking up at Red Rock, which is nice. Mackenzie just came back in town from UNR for the holidays, and haven't really done much with them. So I'm going to go and get them and go hiking up at Red Rock, which is really nice. So this video kind of more has to do of kind of like stuff, you know, and going through my mom's stuff and getting rid of her stuff. And, you know, me and V, we go to estate sales a lot, looking for stuff for the shop, and we see other people's stuff and how much stuff people accumulate. Kind of reminds you of that old George Carlin skit. If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's about stuff. So, you know, when you go into an estate sale, you go into somebody's sanctuary. You know, this is somebody's everything, you know, and they would not let somebody into their house very often or very willingly, obviously. And the people that probably are welcomed into their house are very respectful, they're loved, they're whatever. Then all of a sudden somebody dies and they have an estate sale, and the public is welcome to come into this person's sanctuary, traipse around this house, picking up, dropping, you know, bargaining for stuff that probably meant the absolute world to somebody, leaving behind things to probably get thrown away if they don't get sold or donated to Goodwill or something. And it really makes you think about your own stuff and how valuable or lack of value the stuff really is to everybody else in this world besides you and maybe a couple other people. So in going through my mom's stuff, she didn't have a lot of stuff, which was nice because she wasn't like a pack rat or anything like that, but she did have a few boxes of pictures of her family and then stuff, me and her, and all of the stuff we did in the 70s and the 80s, maybe some into the 90s too. And then it made me reflect about myself and all of my pictures and these memories that I hold on to. Obviously, you know, I'm a picture taker. I always have been. There's something about a picture that just takes this snapshot in time that you can never go back on. So it makes you reflect and it makes you think about these great times. And, you know, usually people, when they're taking a picture, they're smiling and it's something that they're supposed to remember. But once that person's gone, and what do you do with all their stuff, you know? So I bought a scanner, a picture scanner, you know, so you can just high volume, just scan hundreds of pictures at a time. Problem is, on some of these pictures, on the back, it's written who it is and what it is, what time it was, whatever. So you don't get that if you scan a picture. And she's not around anymore to explain who's in the pictures. Some of them I obviously know who they are, but other ones I don't. And that memory is going to die. You know, that memory of whoever was in that picture is going to die. It's gone. And we see this all the time in estate sales. We see boxes of pictures, postcards, you know, stuff that they cherished, they kept held on to for 30, 40, 50 years, places they'd gone and stuff like that. And at the end of the sale, especially pictures, they're going to be thrown away because they're worth nothing to everybody else in this world. So I've got boxes of pictures myself, mostly car-related pictures from the 80s and into the 90s, Volkswagen stuff, either from the Las Vegas Volkswagen Club or shows we've been to, Jamboree, Classic, you know, Eldorado Park Show, and whatever. But there's also a lot of pictures of the club members and people, and some of them, quite a few of them, I'm looking back, aren't around anymore. And so it's nice to have those memories, but if they're in a box in my house or in my mom's house, they're doing no good. What do you do with them? So in before the internet, what would you do with them? You couldn't do anything with them. You just put them in another box, put them in the back of your closet, and wait till you pass away, and then your kids have to do something with it. So what I'm doing now is I'm scanning all my mom's pictures and all my pictures from all the Volkswagen stuff, and then all of my personal stuff and kids, and you know, my ex-wife used to just give me pictures, school pictures. Every time the kids would have school pictures, she'd hand me a folder of pictures, and they just get put into a drawer or a box, and they never get seen. So I'm going to consolidate all of these memories, all these photos, and I'm going to put them on virtual albums on SmugMug, which is what I put all my car pictures and all my memories and stuff like that, to where now I can send links to individuals. Like if there's an individual picture that has some old friends in it or family, I can send them an individual link to go back and look at that, or they can look at the whole album if it's just a picture of an album of just family pictures. And they can look through them, and they right click and save them onto their own computers. It doesn't take up any space physically, and they can relive those memories again. There was a couple pictures of my mom and her sister and her two brothers back when they were kids. Absolutely amazing pictures. And I sent them to my cousins, and they'd never seen them, or they didn't have them, or whatever. And they absolutely love these pictures of their mom or their dad that they'd never seen before back when they were, 5, 10 years old, something in between there, And all of this bullshit just makes you reflect. Me and V have been minimizing. We always thought of ourselves as minimalists, but we weren't really. We were very simple people, live in a small house, have older cars. We don't buy a lot of stuff, but we had accumulated a lot of stuff from yard sales, estate sales, and stuff like that. And so a couple months ago, we had a big yard sale, and we cleared out a bunch of shit. My garden, which was what V called it, was all my parts that have been flourishing and growing over the last couple of years. It felt like this huge burden and this anchor. And we have this yard sale, and all that stuff's gone. Gone. The stuff I held so dearly, it feels so much better being rid of it. All of our vehicles are kind of gone, except for what we drive daily. And man, it's such a weird place. Such an odd place. So I guess the moral of the story with this video is to do stuff with your stuff now, because you kind of never know when something's going to happen, and your kids probably aren't going to want to deal with your stuff or not know what to do with it or what you would want to do with it. And while you're alive right now, maybe go through your stuff and either have the choice of getting rid of it on your own, actually making some money and putting it away or whatever, or passing it along to somebody like your kids that might mean something to, or digitizing them like I'm doing. Then they can live forever. Once you put them on Facebook on an album, or my SmugMug one or whatever, they'll live forever. And those pictures only mean something to such a small amount of people. But whatever, it could be guys with their cars, that they had a car back in '89, this Ghia that he had that he never took any pictures of, but I did because I'm a picture nerd. And he could stumble across this picture, and it would mean something. It'd make him feel good for just a moment. And I've just geeked out over pictures my whole life, So I don't know. It really makes you wonder, think about what is valuable. Things, memories, because it all goes away in the end. And so I'm in this really weird spot right now where I don't know what to do. Literally don't know what to do. I'm barely hanging on to my job because of COVID. There's just no business. I'm way down the seniority list. So I have no bills. My mom's passed away. I'll probably end up getting something from her estate eventually, which would enable me to go do something or buy something that I would never be able to do, take a trip or something. And trying to think, what does life really mean? These are really deep questions. But what are you going to do while you're here? So I'm an atheist, and I've always been an atheist. And being an atheist, you don't believe really in an afterlife, heaven or a hell or anything like that. And atheists, more than anybody, live now, because we don't believe that there's something better in the beyond. So it makes you cherish right here, right now. This is all that really matters, because this is all that we really get. And there's a certain beauty in that, knowing that this is, so I'm going today to pick up the kids, and we're going to go hiking up at Red Rock. And when I'm up there, I am not just going to walk through Red Rock. I'm going to absorb Red Rock. I'm going to look at every plant and smell and every red, yellow, beigey rock, and just stare at it in amazement at just how beautiful this world is. Because when you shut your eyes for the last time, you're never going to see it. That's the way I believe. And so every moment you're here, you got to make it count. And so anyway, I'm just in this weird place, reflecting, thinking about what's important, and so hard to know what the right way to go is. I'm super confused and don't know which way to go. But this happens, I hear all the time, when you have kind of like a spiritual moment, spiritual enlightenment, you become aware or whatever. It's super confusing going from kind of like your old life to your new life, and I kind of feel like I'm kind of in transition right now. Anyway, so I just have to get this out. These videos help me release the pressure. Maybe they'll help somebody along their way, and provides me with some clarity. So I love you. I love this life. It's beautiful. I'm sitting in this parking lot, and you could just look at all the cars and asphalt, but you see the trees and the blue skies, and it's just beautiful. Life is just beautiful, even in the most mundane spots, if you look at it that way, So I hope you have a great fucking day, man. I just hope you have a great day, and I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.